I'm Tim Flannery, and I trained as a biologist and paleontologist, and I spent the early part of my career in the island of New Guinea and the surrounding islands documenting the biodiversity of the rainforests of the region. I realised at a certain point in my career that unless we address climate change, all of that biodiversity I was documenting was going to vanish. So I then really engaged fully with climate change. I became Australia's initial climate commissioner and have moved much more into that political sphere, I guess, of dealing with climate change. Now, we've been trying for 40 years to protect the world's rainforests and their carbon and their biodiversity, and yet we keep failing. And I think a big part of the reason is we don't understand, us in the West that is, who we are actually trying to broker a deal with. So we don't understand those communities. We have no way really to understand who the landowners are in many cases. And until we understand that in a quite a profound way, we'll continue to fail. So my job really in some ways is bringing that understanding and a method for bridge building between those very different communities to those in the West who are interested. So I work with traditional tribal people to protect their forests and their biodiversity, but I also was Australia's Climate Commissioner working with businesses and with government. You know, every tribe is different, whether they're bankers in Switzerland or people living in the rainforest of New Guinea, and understanding them and being able to speak their language a bit and act as a bridge between those very disparate groups is, I guess, that's my passion these days. The trouble is that action was delayed. And we now face a situation where climate change is a lived experience for everyone, not just people in the rainforest, but almost everyone in the world. To slow that now is a very, very big job. It takes a massively abrupt transition, and that's what we're considering today. But if we don't pay the cost of that transition and make the investments, then we know things are going to get much worse into the future. I have a deep faith in human nature. I think we can stabilise the climate. I think it can be done, but it takes a very earnest level of engagement by everyone, and also, I think, an appreciation by everyone that they can be a climate leader in their own life, in what they do, and in how they prioritise dealing with climate change.